So they've been here for a while and they start shooting next week, and we are thrilled, thrilled, thrilled. I also want to let you know as soon as I get rid of my little thing that says got it. Jill Johansson is with us today too from the Minnesota Film Board. So welcome, Jill. And I just a little bit about the Upper Midwest Film Office. We are kind of thought of as the concierge for the film production industry. So when they come in and see if we have what they are looking for locations or whatever it is, we like to be the easy button. So we can make it as easy as possible for film productions to come in and shoot in our area. So concierge, easy button, those are all things that we strive to be. I would like to introduce our director, Lisa France. And Lisa, we are thrilled that you're here in Duluth. Take it away.
Hi, I don't have tons to say except for that this is a um, really cute, a little on the, I'd say a little different, kind of a movie about the superstitions that we have as athletes and people who play sports and watch sports. And the superstition happens to be around hockey in this particular case. And this team hasn't been doing very well. And it's a little bit of a analog meets digital. The girl is a little more digital and a little more upper crusty, and she's a cool contemporary artist. And our guy is salt of the earth, has a record player records, probably his phone. He takes her on a first date, and it is hockey. They get caught on the kiss cam. The team that's been losing, they kiss on their first date. The team that's been losing wins for the first time in a really long time. And then the movie kicks off with the superstition around, well, these two have to kiss every game now so that we could make it to the playoffs. So that's basically what it's about. And it's just happens to happen around the holidays. So that's what we're doing here. And we have great actors. Katie Lowe's, if you know who she is, she played Quinn on Scandal. She was Rachel in Inventing Anna. And she just was on a show called How We Roll. She was the lead on that show. Unfortunately, it got canceled, but good for us because we get her. And a guy named Jesse Bradford. If you ever watched Bring It On, kind of a famous movie, he was in that, and he was also in a movie called Clockers, another culty favorite, wonderful movie. Um, we have Angela Coe, which some say she was on Rebel. It's an incredible, amazing, wonderfully talented cast. We're so lucky to have the amazing Minnesota locals. Wow, we got some amazing cast here. Really fantastic group of people we got coming here too. So, and you guys have been great. We're so grateful and thankful. And I just want to hand it off to our casting director doing the background stuff because I know she has a kind of has to head out not too long and talk about a couple things that we're looking for with a few of our volunteer background people.
All right. So my name is Paige Mailer. I'm doing all of the background casting for Mary Kisscam. Um, we're looking for volunteer extras to come out and be hockey fans on June 7th, 8th, and 9th. You'll be signing up for a 4-hour shift. And I think that Sherry is going to drop the link to sign up for a shift in the chat. And it is also going to be posted in the Facebook event for this Zoom meeting. If you want to know what an extra is, it's the non-speaking background actors that you see in any film or television show. It's a very important part of the filmmaking process. You are helping bring it to life and really making it feel authentic. So it is a volunteer unpaid position. Usually when you are an extra, you're signing up for a 12-hour commitment. So this is just 4 hours. And if you cannot do the entire shift, you'll just note that when you sign up on signup.com. Sherry, did you have any other specific questions? You're muted, Sherry.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking for the mute button. I've got like 4 screens going right now. Wait, do they have to wear anything special?
So since we're going to be in a hockey arena, you want to dress warm. And as for colors, we would love bulldog colors. But if
That's
you don't
like
have,
burgundy gold kind of thing or something, I think, right?
yeah, the bulldogs colors, and then if you don't have that, gray, blue, or red. Um, and yeah, just be an extra. You just have to take direction. It's a pretty low pressure, really fun experience. And as for food, you're signing up for 4 hours. So please eat before you come to set. And but you are absolutely encouraged to bring a non-perishable snack if you want, that you can keep in your pocket. And yeah,
Do they make stars?
the actors will be really busy, so probably not. There's a chance you might get placed in the background near one of them, but we'll have a lot of people during those days, so probably not.
But you will see them.
Yeah.
You'll see them. And also, I think I just want to say that for me, I was a background actor. Actually, I almost started as a background actor, and I was a stand-in. And, it's a really great way to see how movies get made without having really any responsibility. And you just get to sit and watch. And then, our AD department, my assistants, all the people that work with my department will be going, and I will be doing this too. I'll be going, okay, everyone go crazy, everyone go, ooh, and then you'll all be doing this collectively, and just the audience is going to have an experience based on how many people we have, right? So the more people we have, and the more people we feel yelling and cheering and being excited or sad, the audience, when they watch the movie, they're going to feel that particular way, and it's going to be authentic, versus when, I don't like using what they do, this fake thing now. They stick them in digitally without real voices, and it just doesn't feel the same. And I love the real feeling. So if people will come, it will mean the world to me, and it will definitely mean the world to the audience when they watch the movie.
Sarah's asking how many people we think you need.
Well,
For extras.
We'll take as many as we can get, especially on the second day, which is Wednesday. Is that the 8th page, right?
yes.
So the 8th, that's when we're going to have the whole hockey team. We're going to have 2 hockey teams actually playing. It's going to be like really amazing. We have a lot of amazing hockey players coming out, and they're going to actually play, and they're going to play games, and we're going to watch them, and you're going to see movie magic. It's going to be very exciting. I have to say, that place can take 1,300 people. So if we got, even a fraction of that, it would be amazing. And it'll be weird, and you're going to wonder, like, the director's telling like 20 of us, everybody just scooch over 5 feet. Okay, you 50 people, everybody just get up and move 10 feet. And it might seem really weird, but then you're going to see yourself, moved over. Whereas, if we didn't move over, you wouldn't see ourselves in the frame, right? So it seems crazy and chaotic, but it's actually what we do. And this is how, when you watch movies and you see these real crowds with these real people, this is what they do.
Right. And another thing I should add is, if you are a male hockey player aged 18 to 35 and you own full hockey gear, absolutely sign up for a shift, and specifically on June 7th. And please make a note that you are a hockey player who owns full gear, and I will contact you to confirm that you have all the gear. We really need some hockey players.
And actually on June 9th as well.
Okay.
We're good for the 8th, but we could use a couple more hockey players on the 9th and some hockey players on the 7th too. That would be great, just to have a few.
Awesome. We should put that out separately too, specifically to hockey people, guys, and then we will but whoever's on this call, and if you're hearing this now, that's the sign up to go to, for hockey players and for fans in the stands.
We're also looking for one more specific person. We're looking for someone who could, and this would be a paid job, I think. Paige, am I correct? She went away. I'm pretty sure this is a paid.
It's paid. It's
Yeah,
paid.
it's
Sorry.
this is a paid position, and this person would have to be there the day 2 through day 6, which is, I don't know what the dates are, the first.
1 to 6, 7, right? 6.
Yeah, so that person is ideally a male, from 19 or 20. I'd prefer, well, he's got to be 21, I guess. He has to look 21, and he can be as old as 38. And he should be very comfortable with his shirt off, and ideally he is cut and ripped and shredded. There's a very funny joke in the story where we're asking someone else who doesn't have the greatest of bodies necessarily to put his shirt on, but this guy can keep his shirt off, and they're arm wrestling, and it's really funny. This guy also has to be okay kissing a man. We don't know if he's gay, we don't know if he's bi, we don't know if he's straight, we don't know what he is, but he's okay kissing a man. So that is a very specific guy. A hunky gay guy would be great. A straight guy that doesn't care, I don't care. Just a good looking dude with his shirt off. And he's not keeping his shirt off the whole time. He's just keeping his shirt off in this one scene, and he's arm wrestling. So that's pretty much that.
That's very specifically said.
It is very specific, and he would probably work the whole week if he wanted. If he cannot work the whole week, it's okay. But there are a couple specific days that he has to be there.
All right. Well, everybody put on your thinking caps on who we know.
Who's our hunky, swimmer type, maybe? I don't know. He's at the gym, maybe he's a biker guy. I don't know if you know who's a fit soup, and
They're
again,
here.
I should expand the age to 45. He could be, if as long as he's ripped and kind of a hot guy, that's all that matters. Taking pictures now.
Noted.
So if that's you, submit a photo and your contact information to northlandcasting@gmail.com, and I dropped that in the chat.
You said that was northlandcasting@gmail.com?
Philip's
Correct.
signing up right now.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Do you want to maybe, Mandy, you're up. This is Mandy June Turpin. She is our producer, and she's just going to let you know a little bit more about her role in the whole filmmaking process, and a little bit about why we're in Duluth.
Hello, everyone. Well, I'll start off why we're in Duluth. I came and participated in the Catalyst Film Festival about 4 years ago with a project I brought with Elaine Lowe, was the writer-director, and we won the comedy part of it. And when we were here, I got to meet Sherry and Philip and Ricky, and really fell in love with the place, and thought, everyone was so great. They were really excited about bringing productions here. So then we went back. We had a great showing with a couple of the agencies with our project, and then the pandemic hit, and then wasn't able to come out to Duluth with another couple of projects. But then last year in September, I came out with as an actor with a project, and talked to Ricky and Sherry and Philip and everyone again, and just fell in love with the place even more. Met a lot of the people from Lost 40 up in Chisholm, and when Mar Vista came to me with this project and said, where would you want to take it? And I said, Duluth. And they were like, Duluth? And I was like, yeah, it's the opportunities. Minnesota's really boosting their incentives. They have a lot of resources. And so this is kind of why we're here. And the wonderful part about Ricky and Sherry and Philip and what they're doing is you know, they really helped us find a lot of the crew. That was kind of our goal, was to hire everybody locally. We tried to really, you know, use as many people from Duluth as we possibly could, Minnesota, St. Louis County. We really kind of want to help to bolster their film production here. So that's kind of why we brought Mary Kisscam to Duluth. And I think Lisa can also agree that everyone's been great. The locations are amazing. Everybody's kind of really opened their arms to us. And we hope to return that favor by helping them, you know, kind of create a foundation for bringing more production here. Because it's a great, lovely little town. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for people here, not only for production, but, you know, jobs and everything else. So, and when it comes to what a producer does, my dad asked me that the other day. He goes, "What are you doing?" It's just a jack of all trades, hats, anything, you know, supporting Lisa as much as I possibly can, supporting our production staff, you know, supporting the companies that are making it possible for us to be here with funding, finance. You know, it's kind of, we kind of do everything, if that answers the question. Even do my laundry while I'm here at a laundromat. So we do everything
Mandy literally does, by the way.
as the production staff. So
Mandy actually does do literally everything, just so you know. She does, normally producers have assistants and other people doing stuff, but not Mandy. She's somehow, I think she's an octopus.
trying to do it all. But yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell. So
Should we hand it off to John and Noah now? They're going to let you know what it's going to look like in Duluth, maybe a little bit about where they're going to be, or what you might, not exactly where they're going to be, but like what you might expect, how it's going to look, and what to expect downtown Duluth for the next couple of weeks.
Well, greetings, everybody, and thank you, Sherry and Ricky, for making this happen, and all the great people of Duluth. It's been a blast. We love the people here. We're having a great time with everybody, and everybody has been supportive and cooperative. I'm the line producer on the movie, and basically, we're going to be spending a lot of time on Superior Street at many locations. We're filming 15 days. So the first week, once we start on May 30th, we're going to film 6 days. Then the next week, we're going to potentially film 4 days. And then the final week, 5 days. And we're going to be going up and down Superior Street at places like the Essentia. No, that's not in Superior Street, excuse me. The Apostle and the Radisson, Carmody's Pub, Oliver Inn, Fitger's. And then we're going to also be filming at Essentia Heritage Arena and a couple other places. The Duluth Art Department at the Depot, and also their community center. So that's just some of the locations we're going to be at. And Noah is our location manager. So he's going to be managing all this. When we're out there, we're going to be filming interior at a lot of these locations and some exterior stuff. So we're going to have our trucks everywhere, and we're going to have a great experience, and it's going to be a great time in the city. So I'll pass it over to Noah to just talk about location stuff. And then, of course, if you have any questions at the end, we'll answer all your questions. So thank you once again. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your community. And thank you for allowing us to be able to come here and film. We appreciate it.
Hey guys, my name is Noah. I'm locations manager on Mary Kisscam. I'm a local. I'm actually from Hibbing, so it's awesome that these productions can come through and provide jobs for a lot of the locals. So super exciting stuff. You're gonna see us all over town. I mean, it's hard to miss us. Big crew. You're gonna see trucks, trailers everywhere, lines of cars. So it's gonna be a blast. We're not shutting down any streets, or sidewalks. Don't have to worry about that stuff. We're gonna be over in Lincoln Park. So if anyone lives in Lincoln Park, you'll see us on the streets over there. But yeah, if you see us outside, come up, take some pictures. Feel free. I mean, I'm gonna put my number too in the chat here. So if anyone has any questions, you see us outside, give me a call, and we might be able to get you a little tour on set. So thanks everyone, appreciate it.
That's awesome. Thanks, Noah. Does anybody have any questions for this team?
Lucian's flying in on our anniversary. So it's like our anniversary dinner too.
Trying to find. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. And I keep putting my, there we go. Sorry about that. What was I saying? I just got totally distracted. Okay, any questions from people out there? Curious about what happens or how people get into making films, or any questions for this team? Sarah, go ahead.
Sherry, just a quick schedule question. What are the dates now of actual shooting?
Monday the 30th through the Thursday the 16th. And I'm sure that crew is taking off days in there, but I don't know exactly which days.
Wow, this is going to be awesome. Cool, thanks.
3 full weeks of shooting downtown Duluth and Lincoln Park. It's awesome.
Oh my God, Ricky, dream come true.
We've been working on this for a while. Hi, Sarah, go ahead.
Hey, so yeah, I was wondering if I can get, so I have some good friends who are, so I'm recovering from surgery, so that's the reason I was sorry. I'm fine here. But I do have some good friends from Chicago who are hockey coaches and run leagues and stuff, and they could get high school / college players possibly there. Is there any chance if I can get a decent amount of people there that you guys can like set them up with a room or something if they're coming from Chicago?
Here's the thing about shooting in Duluth in the summer. Hotel rooms are rough, so we can take it offline, Sarah, and find out.
Okay.
But I wouldn't throw that out there as an opportunity yet, because we're in a pretty tough position from a hotel.
Gotcha. Yeah. If you,
Yeah,
but if you need hockey, professional hockey people, let me know.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I also might have the hunk
Ooh.
for you. I'm working on it. I'll send you a picture, Paige.
So one of the questions that people ask all the time is like, okay, so how can I be involved in this? And that's not always, there's not one answer to answer that. But the one thing that I would love for the people that are here that maybe haven't been as exposed to this is thinking about, there's so many businesses in the region that can benefit from working with movies or TVs or commercials. Things like the obvious, right? Like Ricky always says, everybody thinks that the hotels and the restaurants make out from this, and they do. There's a lot of business that happens there, but there are other businesses that really get a ton of business that are already here. Printers, dry cleaners, embroiderers, hardware stores, kind of all of the above. So there's a lot of businesses out there in our region that could absolutely benefit. And one way that they can find you is by registering in our production guide on our website. And so it's a free platform. You can register your business, or you can register as crew. And it's a free way to say, hey, we want to be film friendly at this business, or I'm interested in doing this. Register as crew. You can contact us as well, and we can tell you all kinds of information. We'll put that in the chat as well. But our website is uppermidwestfilmtv.org. I can't do two things at once. I will put it in the chat in a second. So that's one way to get involved. Another way is if you have an entrepreneurial spirit and you're thinking about starting a new business, I can guarantee if you bought some motorhomes, you today could rent them out across the state for film and TV. It's one of the businesses that we need. There are other businesses that are definitely needed. Ricky and I have a list a mile long, and I can guarantee that this team would probably be able to throw out some too. So if you have an entrepreneurial spirit and you're excited about that, please, please, please let us know, and we can tell you all of the ideas that we have, because this business is starting to grow. The reason why it's growing is because we have incentives here. We won't get into that deeply today, but our legislators and our leaders need to know that we like having extra business here, that we like having movies in town. And so we can talk about that until the cows come home as well. So that is a long way of me saying, if you have any kind of interest at all in being involved in this, we want to have you. We'd love to have you. There's tons of ways to get involved, and contact us at the film office, and we would love to share them with you.
Can I say something about that before we
Yes.
we go over? So it's always funny because I always, as a producer, when we go and we film in these different states, they always say, you know, we're giving you all these incentives, and you know, are we really making any money? I always try to explain to them that when we bring crew here, they make something called per diem, and they have to spend it where we are. And I'm going to use Lisa as an example, because I think the Duluth candy store is maybe getting everything that Lisa gets for per diem, because she spent a lot of money in the Duluth candy store. She's bought gifts for people. She's done all this stuff. And, you know, I was talking to David the other day, who owns, and we're buying gifts for people and everything. And I said, what kind of jump, you know, what kind of push does this give it? And it gives local businesses, you know, just get such a joy out. David, especially at the Duluth candy store, we could not thank him enough. He's going to have some of his products put in our movie. We're going to help him with advertising. We are buying his products. He's getting a bump this month now with all the money that he's making. Duluth Coffee is another one who we're going to a lot. There's restaurants around here that we want to use. That was a huge thing bringing this movie to Duluth, is we really wanted to use Duluth businesses and show the world how wonderful this little place is, and be able to kind of advertise for them. So I think that's a really big deal too, what comes when people actually film in your area and use the resources that you guys have. I know a lot of times when movies come to certain areas, they shoot in Canada for New York, or they do, you know, different areas for different places. But what we really want to do, and what we're trying to do for Duluth, is you know, help local businesses. And I think that that we've done that since we've been here. And also with job creation, you know, there are certain jobs out, or certain needs that we had that are not available right now in Duluth, but we have now told Ricky and Sherry, you know, production accountants, production coordinators, people that are support staff for these movies. Now we start thinking about, maybe you don't go to Minneapolis to be a accountant, you stay in Duluth and you can learn to be a production accountant here. So there's all kinds of opportunities for people around here that, you know, for job creation, which I think is so important for the film business. When they come, they really help people really think about, it's not just the actors, the directors, and the producers, it's all the support staff, it's the grip and electric, it's all these people learning a different trade that helps make a movie. Because I will guarantee you, people don't realize how many wonderful, they call them below the line, people it takes to make a movie. And that's kind of what we'd like to also help, you know, bringing film here, is to help with job creation. So.
And I want to just echo more of that. I don't know. We basically make a company. We're a company, and we have everything. We have food, we have electricians, we have construction workers, we have drivers, we have people who are in the medical field. Like we have usually an on-set medic. We have lawyers. I mean, we have it's a small company of 100+ people. And it's believe it or not, here in this town, artists, which are scenics often, if you have a great a design eye, and you're great at, if you're a costumes person, like there's some little bit of business in our business in almost every normal regular business. So if you are someone who's already are, maybe like Mandy said, maybe you're already maybe you're a chef, maybe you already do catering. Well, you know, this is an opportunity to look at that more deeply. And yes, I've spent every penny that I have in this town, and I will be spending, all of us are going to spend every cent that we're given. We need to spend it. So you'll see us all of a sudden, there's going to be, for 3 weeks, there's going to be 100 and something people just coming out of nowhere, buying snacks and gifts and things. So, and the food It is awesome here. We are loving it. I love it here. I swear to God, if I didn't like hate cold so much, I'd move here. But other than that, it's amazing. And everyone here is so great, so kind. Please don't ever change when you become big time and every movie's here.
Aw. Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We would love to hear your questions. We'll hang out here for a couple more minutes in case you have a little bit of stage fright and don't want to ask questions in front of everybody else. Please, please, please let us know. We are happy to have you. Jill, thank you for hopping on from the State Film Office. She is super supportive of this project and all the projects around the state. We're super happy to have her and her support. She helps me every single day. So thank you.
Yeah, Sherry, can I just jump in for a sec? I just want to say a quick thanks to you and Ricky and Jill and Mandy and Lisa and John and the team. Duluth's in an interesting position. One of the interesting things about my role at Catalyst is getting to go out into the industry at all these different communities around the country and around the world and see what's going on out there. And in terms of having a small community that is starting to act big in this industry, a non-major capital city doing this. Duluth is rising very quickly up the ranks on people's lips and in people's minds. More than a couple of producers and financiers at major companies are talking about Duluth and the region now. And I think this project has the potential to be very exciting to finally show everybody in the community a lot of the work that's been happening behind the scenes the last 4 years, like especially through the film office, and the fact that we have a state film office and a regional film office that can support this. It's really cool and exciting to be able to go out and be in industry meetings all the time and just say, hey, yeah, I'm from Duluth. And all of a sudden people start going, oh yeah, I've heard what's going on up there. That's what I get a lot of right now. And it's super positive and everybody's excited about it. So just thanks again to Mandy and Lisa and John and your team for having the faith to believe that the little engine that can do it here. And it looks like it's going to work out. And I think if this goes really well, I think the community is going to come alive about this industry in the next 3-4 weeks. And I think the industry at large has been looking for a production this size to have a really good, smooth experience here as an example. And right, somebody's always got to go first on these things. So just my deep appreciation for you guys pulling it off and making it happen. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Philip. And Philip is a huge part of the reason why we're all here. So thank you to Philip for persevering and pushing. And I put actually a link to Catalyst in the chat. We do have a question, curious as to how a budget is set and who pays for this. I know there's grants and stuff, but is there a specific company or person that pays for this? And what streaming service will this be on?
How does the budget come about? Well, it's funny because you always read a script first, and as a producer, there's always these triggers like water, kids, stunts. That changes a budget completely. But what happens a lot of times is you partner with a line producer and you guys go over the budget, and hopefully you have financing going into it, which makes it easier. But being a producer, sometimes you have to find funding, which isn't always fun. But like on this one, Mar Vista, who is a wonderful company, is our finance. And right now we're not, we're talking about where it's going. We're talking to people. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of how we do it. But a lot of times, people always say, what's the hardest thing about producing? And finding the project that you really believe in and finding the money. And you can find the money all over the place. There's a million different ways that you can find money. People self-finance, they go to production companies, there's a million. You have to be creative when it comes to financing a movie. Sometimes your actors get you the money, sometimes your director gets you the money, sometimes the script gets you the money. It all depends. There's no real way of saying this is how it's done, because there is no one way. You have to be very aggressive and creative, and surround yourself by a wonderful team that people believe in and that want to give you money. You know, sometimes it's track records, sometimes you work your way up from smaller to bigger budgets. But there really are hundreds of answers to that question about where and how you get money. I wish I could say we click our heels together and it appears, but that doesn't happen. So
Also, you know, one of the things to think about, you know, I started by doing everything myself, and like Mandy, like we've definitely done it from the bottom up, and something really wonderful has happened. So if anybody here is, you know, I want to be a director, I want to be a producer, I want to do all these things, and the good news is that filmmaking has been democratized. There's no reason now not to tell your story. If you have one of these, and if you have, obviously you have this thing, if you're on a computer, if you have a computer and you have a phone, you can make a movie with your friends. And no, it maybe isn't going to be some amazing thing the first try, but you know, you can tell a story, and you can at least put together some sort of concept piece that will then help you raise money. So, you know, you put together storyboards, and you put together a deck, and you tell your story, and that will help you raise money. And you know, a lot of people, you just need to ask your friends and family. If you know people that have a couple bucks, put together, you know, 50 grand and just give it a shot, and start a little LLC and shoot a short film or a feature that's very simple with 3 people talking in 3 locations, and that's it. And you know, get it rolling here in Duluth. You guys have one of the most unbelievable locations I have ever seen. It is like a gold mine. It's an untapped resource that we're tapping into, and they are, I think Philip said it, they're coming, you know, they're coming. So learn a craft in this business, and teach somebody else how to do it too. Like, you know, if nobody's doing anything, learn from Noah. Noah's we threw him into the fire. That guy's killing it. He's going to be the rock star locations manager of Duluth, you know, by the end of this thing. And you know, everybody that are joining this team locally, you know, we all had to grow, we all had to learn, and we're here for that. You know, we're here for that. We're here to help people.
You know what? And I love what Lisa just said. You know, the best thing about movie making, I think, is you are always learning. And this is, you know, I always tease Noah. I'm like, there are no problems. There's only creative solutions or creative answers, because, you know, you're always going to run into those bumps and you know, problems. But, you know, I think if you surround yourself with the right team, you can solve anything. And I think Lisa's so right, is start off with a phone. There are a lot of, you know, famous people who are working today that are shooting on phones. They can use cameras, but they are choosing to tell stories in different ways. And I think that's what's so wonderful about what we're doing now, is there is no one way to tell a story. And, you know, Catalyst is a prime example. Those are also places that you can find funding. People can see your work, get it out there, apply to film festivals, go to, you know, Catalyst is a wonderful, they give these great classes and everything. I think the more you learn, and also don't just say, I'm a producer or an actor or a director, do it all, learn everything. That you really, you know, it's amazing how many actors that I've met that, you know, don't know a lot of what goes behind the scenes. And I think once you start to realize how much work goes into making a movie, you start to realize how hard everybody works. And I think the respect then kind of flows through a production. Like Lisa said, it's a company, you're a family for, you know, this time that you spend together. You're literally creating a child that you're putting into the world. So, so yeah, so just, and don't take no for an answer. And I know that everybody says that, but you know, it's not always going to be perfect and it's not always going to be great, but someday someone's going to go, I like that. Let's go run with it. And that's, you know, you always have that opportunity.
Those are great words, Mandy and Lisa. Thank you so much. And I think it just goes to show that for everybody here, the world is our oyster because this business is coming here. And so we just have to get ready for it. And the timing could not be more perfect for people that want to get in this business. And we certainly encourage that because it's here.
Yeah, and the other thing that, you know, people forget everything you need to know about being a producer or being a production accountant or being a lawyer in the film business, entertainment lawyer, being locations manager, being an assistant director, being a coordinator. All of these things are in a book somewhere. There's some really great books out there. One of the books that I highly recommend if you just want to learn pretty much the whole from like, you know, the boss all the way down to the entry level position is called, I think it's called the first director's team or the director's first team. And I think one of the authors, their last name is Sherman. If you Google around, you'll find it. It's written by two people. It is the beginning of education if you're interested in this business, not just as an actor, not just as a director, not just as a producer or writer, but other jobs that we need. Construction people, we need artists, we need people who build things from scratch, like creative people in every department. You wouldn't believe hair designers, makeup design. There's so many incredibly, and it's all creative. It's all creative. Every graphic designers, editors, animators, we need composers, music, like there's just so many jobs. It's unbelievable. So if you already have a job and you know, maybe you're looking to shift gears, this is a great place to go. If this place starts getting super busy, which I'm pretty sure it's gonna, you'll want to be ready. You know, you'll want to pick a trade. So
That's actually a really good segue to our workshops. We are working with Lost 40 in Chisholm and are looking to work with some groups here as well to do our workshops. They're 3-day intensive workshops where you can get a feel for what it's like to actually work on a set. There's a day in the classroom where you learn kind of who does what, how to talk on a walkie, how to read a call sheet, what the positions are, those kinds of things. And then the next 2 days they shoot a short, and then people can try all the different positions. And then those people are then able to be on a list of interns that feed into the system as well. So like Mary Kisscam is hiring interns from those workshops. So it's another way. I put the link to the workshops in the chat. We do not have our next one scheduled yet. I'm waiting for confirmation on one for sure, possibly two. But keep an eye out on our Facebook page and our website as well to talk about those. And then the two resources that you also have heard mentioned here today, Catalyst Stories or the Catalyst Institute it's from soup to nuts. I have an idea. What do I do next? I have no idea what to do. That's a great place to go. They're at catalyststories.org. There's also another resource in Duluth that works also on the range, and that's Zeitgeist Film Academy, and they do training with regard to some script writing, but also documentary filming, cinematography, and some editing. And then we will also be having an editing workshop as well. So there's a lot of different opportunities that are coming up to learn. But as Lisa said, one of the best ways to do this is to get on set as an extra and you can see what happens. And then you can say, I want to know more about that. And that's a great way to get people involved. So
I remembered the name of the book and I just put a link to it in the Amazon. And Kalila, I'm sorry, who? Hi.
It's
Yeah,
Kayla.
Kayla. Sorry, Kayla is the one. I got it and she got it. So within seconds. But it's a great book. I read it like 3 times. It's one of the best books I've ever read about, especially about the behind the scenes of what it takes to, what makes a movie happen. And it even has like a giant grid on the hierarchy of how it all goes down and different pathways. And it's incredible. It's a really, really great book. It was the first book I ever read before I became a filmmaker, and I still refer to it all the time.
Any other questions out there for this team?
Yeah, I have one question.
Hi, Jake, go ahead.
Hi. So I would like to work as an extra or just kind of be a part of some of the films. Is there any other ones besides this Mary Kisscam? Because I don't think I'll be able to make it for that. But are there any other ones this summer maybe that will be coming up?
Yes, there are, and we'll be able to give you a little bit more detail soon. Follow our Facebook page and sign up for emails at our website, which I put in the chat. Definitely do that. Also connecting with Ricky. She's the chief production officer. She knows everybody and she knows absolutely everything that's happening. So even if you just had coffee or a quick Zoom chat with Ricky, it's a good way for her to let you know all the things that are happening. I don't need to speak for you, Ricky. Go ahead. Sorry.
And as a matter of fact, Jake and I did just connect, and so we've got good possibilities.
Got it. Yeah, lots of really cool stuff happening. At least 2 more projects coming to Duluth this summer and this fall for sure. So, yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Thank you.
Anybody else? Curtis, I feel like you're trying to take yourself off mute. Are you? He is. Oh, but I can't hear you. No. Do you want to throw your question in the chat? Down at the bottom, if you click on chat, you can throw a question in there if you have one. And thank you to Steve Spears for coming in. He popped in here. Steve is also opening a business up here, Camera Rental. We're super excited to have you here.
Yes, thank you. Glad to be here, actually.
Are you up north here?
No, not quite. Not right now. No, in Minneapolis.
Not
So
yet. Yeah.
but yeah, no, we're looking forward to work. I'm Steve Spears, one of the camera houses that's going to be helping out the show and working with Kyle and the camera team. And I can't tell you, we're pumped. We were talking to Bradford, the AC already. He's coming in Friday to prep. We've been doing some tests already for the show. So everything's coming together great on our end. So we're just trying to be a one spoke in the wheel here. So happy to be
tell
here.
everybody what Cinemechanics does in case they don't know.
Yeah, Cinemechanics is a high-end camera rental house, and we work out of Minneapolis, but we also support other rental houses around the country in Atlanta, Los Angeles, Dallas, all over. We specialize in narrative work and high-end optics, and working with some of the top DPs in this market and elsewhere. We also get into some bolt motion control work. And we've been a resource to the local community as far as relationships with a lot of the cinematographers and camera folks here that come in and out of here. So we're excited about these new opportunities that are happening up north, and want to be there to support it and help everything go smoothly from where we can. So it's really exciting.
Great.
Thank you. I love me some cameras. In fact, if we just have camera, sound, people with clothes on, and the doors open to the location, good.
Yeah.
No, that'll do it.
Yep. Nope, that's great.
Yeah, I see a question. Lisa, did you have a mentor or someone that inspired you to write and direct? Um, you know, I I was not going to be in the film business. I had a whole other life, and I was walking down the street in Manhattan and I saw a movie set for the first time, and I was a bartender. I was an actress and I had acted for a bit, and I saw a movie set, and I literally fell in love. Like when you fall in love with a person, I didn't even know what I was looking at. I was just like, I have to be involved with that thing. Whatever's happening over there, I have to do that. And so I went to work and I told my boss, the manager of the bar that I worked at, what I had seen. And he was like, oh, yeah, I used to be an assistant director, and I had to get out of it. It's crazy business, crazy. He had kids, and it was just difficult on his wife and that whole thing. And I'm like, well, I don't have kids, and I don't have a wife, and I don't have a husband. I don't even have a cactus. So I'm good. And he's the one that told me to read the book, The Film Director's Team. And when I read that book, then that was it. I read that book. I read Making Movies by Sidney Lumet. I read A Pound of Flesh. I read Hello, He Lied by Linda Opes. And I just started reading books, and I did my
great.
own, I just did my own film school, and I started playing with cameras a little bit. And then I just got like, I'm like, okay, how do I get a job? So I became an extra. So I started in a PA. I was a production assistant, where, you just learn and listen and read and just absorb and ask lots of questions. And I did that for a couple years. And then in the middle of all that, I decided to go ahead and take my try and make a short film. And did I have a mentor? No, I did not have a mentor, actually. My bartending boss, he just told me to read this book. But no, I honestly, I really wish I would have had a mentor. It would have been a much faster process to get to this particular day right here. But everybody learns. There's no one way into this business. There's no one way. There's no one answer. There's no obvious trail, unless you're loaded and you can go to AFI and spend and you have to get into AFI in the first place, and USC and New York Film School. These are places where it's the elite, right? It's the elite wealthy who immediately are thrown right into USC Film School. Like, you're thrown into Hollywood. They mentor you, they help you, they assign you people. It's kind of a no fail scenario, but I didn't have $200,000 to go to film school, so I didn't do that. And that was there are smaller film schools you can go to, but and like the workshop here, you should definitely check out the film workshop. 3 days to learn all that. That's incredible. That's amazing. I wish I would have had a workshop like that. So, and then I think you take what you learn from the workshop and you dig deeper, and dig deeper and deeper, and maybe you travel, maybe you do go to New York, maybe you do go to LA, maybe you go to Atlanta. There's constantly more and more film is emerging in different markets where you can learn more. Read. I always listen to the director's commentaries. I still do it on movies that I like, and learn a lot from that. I watch all the behind the scenes videos. I watch them all the time. I'm still learning stuff, and I've been doing this for 22 years, and I'm still constantly learning how to do things. Who's the most famous person that I've ever worked with? Oh gosh, a lot of famous people. I can't honestly. And when I directed, or because I've worked with famous people as a PA and as a stunt woman, and I've stood in for some pretty famous people. I've stood in I worked on The Sopranos as a stunt woman, so I got my ass kicked on The Sopranos a lot, actually. That's kind of probably the most people think what's the most interesting, or I worked with Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington killed me in a movie. That was one of my first jobs ever. That's a pretty famous guy. I worked with everybody on The Sopranos. I worked on that show for a few years. So That's a pretty famous show. I don't know. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm sorry. Spike Lee is definitely for me. Ava DuVernay, super famous to me. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sorry. Oliver Hudson, he's pretty famous. I just directed him in a TV show. I don't know. Jay Moore. I don't know. Lou Diamond Phillips, he's pretty famous. I just directed him. Death by Denzel. Good one, Gwen. I like that.
Well, we are at time and we promised that we would be at 60 minutes for these guys because they still have work to do tonight. Ricky and I'll hang out here for like a couple more minutes if anybody has any questions for us, but thank you all for coming. Thank you for asking questions and being engaged. We look forward to connecting with all of you. And have a great Wednesday night, everybody.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.